Joining me now, Tamika Miller Akpan, the chairwoman of the Lowndes County, Georgia Democratic Party, and Dr. Eddie Glaude, distinguished professor of American Studies at Princeton University and author of the important book, We Are Leaders. We Are the Leaders We Have Been Looking For. Welcome to both of you. Thank you for being with us. Eddie, let me just ask you first, what was your gut instinct when you saw that Georgia's Republican Party passed new laws that affect the certification process of election results? This feels to me like a setting of a table for something bad.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, it's great to see you, Ali. I mean, this is an indication that there are actors in the Republican Party who are not committed to the democratic process. The way you set up the binary of the two campaigns, you have one campaign that's trying to win votes, another campaign that's trying to suppress votes, that's trying to sow chaos. Well, the latter actually reveals that it's very undemocratic in its core. It's not committed to a democratic process. And so this sounds familiar to me. It sounds a familiar part of Donald Trump's playbook.
Tamika, you know firsthand what voters are thinking and feeling in Georgia. Is it clear what's happening here, that this is not actually an effort to make your elections better and safer? It is literally an effort to potentially cause the delay so that votes are not certified by November 12th. But the state can't actually say that. The Board of Elections can't say we're looking for you to actually delay the results. So they're saying we kind of need you to all take a different kind of look at your results so that maybe they don't get certified by November 12th, which is the deadline.
Exactly. Thank you for having me this morning. What we have found here in Lowndes County is basically exactly what you said. We had Democratic Party members to actually attend a Board of Elections meeting and ask the local Board of Elections, will you ensure the voters in Lowndes County that no one that is a part of this body will be involved in anything that will not certify the votes that will eventually be sent to the Secretary of State's office? And as they stated, that they would not allow that to happen. And we pressured them even more. Even if outside entities were to come and try to influence you, would you remain integral? And they stated that they would. But as Democrats, as local Democrats in Lowndes County, we are continuing to push to ensure, and we are advocating for poll watchers, poll workers to actually be a part of this process, overseeing that there's no voter intimidation or no tactics that will keep or allow people to not exercise their right to vote.
Is it still, are you still able, Tamika, to recruit poll watchers and poll workers? Is it too late for that, or can that still happen?
No, sir, it's not too late. It's not too late. We are still recruiting poll watchers for this election.
All right,
yes,
that's a good, just an important thing for people to remember, because there are a whole lot of people out there saying, how do I get involved? How do I help? Sounds like you have something very specific that people can do if they want to keep elections in Georgia and across the country safe. Eddie Glaude, I want to talk about the way this campaign is unfolding. Georgia was a thing that Democrats had written off for a couple of decades. Joe Biden didn't want to write it off. The campaign of the Reverend Warnock was kind of interesting because he had appealed not simply to black voters, but to moderate white voters, to independents. And it sort of took Georgia into another space. And now Kamala Harris is taking it into yet another space. She's going to Southeast Georgia. She's going to places where it might just net her a few votes here and there, but Georgia is won by a few votes here and there.
Right. Now, look, she has, 50 full-time staff in southern Georgia. She has 7 offices in southern Georgia. She has 24 offices across the state. You think about 35,000 volunteers. There's a sense in which they want to play hard. They want that blocking and tackling, which is so important to winning elections. And what's important is that they have to drive up the turnout in Atlanta, in Fulton County, in Savannah, in Columbus, drive up and have historic turnout numbers akin to 2008, and they also have to, lessen the margin, shrink the margin of defeat in Republican counties. And so if they do that, then they're following, Allie, the blueprint that Stacey Abrams and Lindsey Ufot and all those folks did, right? Not only in 2020, but beforehand. They're following that blueprint. And they're saying they're looking for those low propensity voters. They understand that rural America is not just simply white and Republican, that there's some other folks out there. So if they can shrink the margin of defeat in Republican red counties and increase the margin of victory in Democratic counties, that's a blueprint to win in Georgia and in North Carolina and you go all across the state.